So hello everyone, welcome again to this YouTube channel. So today we are going to talk about that why do we use PageFactory.initElement method. So before that, let's go to the definition of PageFactory, what exactly PageFactory is. So you can clearly see here what exactly PageFactory is. So PageFactory is inbuilt page object model concept for Selenium WebDriver. So if you're not aware about page object model, so then page object model is a test design pattern in which we represent web pages as classes. We represent the HTML elements on the web page as in web elements, and we represent the actions on that HTML pages as in methods. So this helps us to maintain a test case in readable and easy manner. So let's go to why do we use PageFactory.initElement method. So let's cover each and every point with a practical example. So the first point is the PageFactory.initElement method is used to initialize web elements located by findBy, @findBy. So let's go to Eclipse and see what exactly it says. So here you can clearly see that I am using PageFactory, and here is the project that I have imported. So first point was that this init PageFactory.initElement method, what it does is it initializes the elements that are found by @findBy annotation. So if you can clearly see here that whatever element that I have right here using @findBy, so it gets automatically initialized using this method. So if you see here, contact label, I have already used it with @findBy, and this method just initialize this, and we are simply using this web element. We are not writing here driver.findElement using XPath or using any other locator method, right? So this is the first point, that it initialize the web elements that we are defining using @findBy. Okay, so let's move to the second point. So second point is that it is called inside the constructor. This method is called every time inside the constructor. Why? So that whenever you are creating an instance of that class, so it will automatically be called, and it will help us to initialize all web elements automatically. So let me show you this on Eclipse. So second point is that it's always written in constructor, right? So this method is defined within the constructor. Why? So the reason is whenever we are going to create an object of this login page, okay, so it will be automatically called. So that will helps us to initialize web elements automatically. So suppose if I go to this page, you can clearly see here that if we have created an instance of login page, so now what will happen, it is automatically going to call the default constructor of the page, and that default constructor has the method PageFactory.initElements. So what it will do is automatically initialize all the web elements that are defined by @findBy. So that's why we write it in a default constructor. So now the third point is no need to initialize every single page object individually using findElement. So I have already explained it in Eclipse. So again, let me again show you this. So you can clearly see that here context label I have defined using @findBy, and this PageFactory.initElement is initializing these elements, these web elements, and I am simply using it. I am not writing any driver.findElement. So without using that, you can simply write the name of the web element and then the Selenium method. So that's how we escape from writing findElement method. Let's move to the last point. So now the last point is, so this is many times asked in the interview, that what if I don't write PageFactory.initElement method in constructor, or if I don't use this method? So the simple answer is you are going to get null pointer exception. Why so? Because this is not, whenever you are not using an initElement method, it means that you are not initializing the web elements that are defined by @findBy, right? So if you're not initializing those web elements and you are trying to use those element using Selenium methods, you're trying to access those elements, so it is obviously going to give you null point exception. Let me explain you this. So now if I just comment this method out, so now what will happen that when when a script is going to access this contact label web element, so because this is not initialized, right? Because this method is used to initialize web elements. So it is going to give you a null pointer exception because you are trying to access a web element that is not initialized. So this is the answer of the last point. So I hope now you got cleared that why we are using this initElements method. So I hope you like the video. Please do share the video if you like it. Thank you.